Technically second if you write off the first one. Sorry, weird display again. For some reason I can't get Microsoft Edge to work out fine with with the Twitch display. It just goes all black. It's fine. We just do it like this. You can see my whole screen. It's all fine. Just one tab. Only one thing that's slightly annoying about it, I can't see the Twitch overlay, which means I can't read chat or anything like that. I could try and get it to work, but I just don't think it will, honestly. It just doesn't seem like it's going to. Is that still full screen? Gonna go black. Not that. That. See, still black. Doesn't quite work. So it might if I press F11. Let me know if that works. Hold on. I should have checked all this before starting the stream, probably, but I can't really. Oh well. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I might just have to go without the Twitch overlay. I'll just change it to entire screen. There we go. Let's watch what we watch. I'm gonna watch Code Animations. And I halfway don't want to watch them because there's no, how the fuck do I react to some of this? You just can't. I mean, some of it just leaves you speechless.
Listen, there's a good chance somebody's trying to hack your website right now.
Oh,
you gotta make. Gee,
like this shit. What am I? Wait. In the movie, he goes like, that shit. How's he gonna do that? Getting his ass beat by an old train conductor. Oh, that's how he stops the train. Come on now, Timmy. Come on, Pepe. Oh. Oh, that hurt me personally. See, how the fuck do I... I'll watch some Shrek Auto. I haven't seen any of these. I've been meaning to watch these ones, actually.
This is the story of how I died.
Were you killed?
Sadly, yes. But I lived.
This is the story of a girl named Rapunzel. And it starts with a girl named Rapunzel. Now, once upon a time, a single drop of sunlight fell from the heavens. And from this small drop of sun grew a magic golden flower. Mother Gothel hoarded its healing power and used it to keep herself young for hundreds of years. And all she had to do was sing a special song. Alright, you get the gist. She sings to it, she turns young. Creepy, right? To celebrate her birth, the king and queen launched a flying lantern into the sky.
Oh, it's that one. I think I've seen that.
Everything was perfect.
Garlic bread, right?
And then that moment ended. Gotham
Batman.
broke into the castle, stole the child, and just like that, gone. Ugh.
Coronavirus!
Yeah.
Rapunzel, look in that mirror. You know what I see? I see a strong, confident, beautiful young
God
lady.
damn! Hold on. Not Rapunzel. Not Rapunzel. I'm not talking about Rapunzel. I'm not talking about. No comment.
Oh, look, you're here too. Would you sing for me?
Go on.
Then we'll talk.
Oh, of course, Mother.
Sarcasm, by the way. I'm not actually mentally disabled. Anything you say?
Rapunzel. So, Mother, I have to know what they are.
You want to go outside? Why, Rapunzel?
You're good at it.
I want to see the floating lights.
No, 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 no. No. Don't ever ask to leave this tower again.
Alright.
I know not who you are, nor how I came to find you, but may I just say,
He's not good at that. He's not good. He thought he cooked something up. He did not. He burnt the house down. Or I thought he was cooking. He was not. Oh.
how you doing?
How you
The
doing?
name's Flynn Rider.
My name's Flynn Rider.
This
God, he's horrible at that. Oh my lord.
way. You know.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man!
Yes, I know the Muffin Man. Who lives on Drury Lane?
Well, she's married to the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man!
She's married to the Muffin Man.
Call it what you will. Fate, destiny.
A horse.
So I have made the decision to
horses.
trust you.
A horrible decision, really.
But
It's
trust
a horrible
me when I tell you this.
It's free real estate.
I haven't heard that in years. Free real estate? It's been a while. Guess I found the next one.
All right, listen, I didn't want to have to do this, but you leave me no choice.
Hey.
Fine, I'll take you to see the lanterns. War.
What?
Rebellion. I mean, this is serious stuff.
You think?
I know. Would this break her heart and crush her soul? Of course. But does your mother deserve it? Of course. You've just got to do it.
Break her heart?
In half.
Crush her soul?
Like a grape.
You're right.
I am, aren't I?
Is this edited? I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I don't even know if that
I
part was
will use
edited.
this.
Yay!
Oh my lord.
Garçon! Your finest table, please.
No. I was about to get raped. What is that positioning? I know that fist ain't going into his face. Hey.
I had a dream once. I'm not malicious, mean, and scary. And violence-wise, my hands are the cleanest.
Violence wise, but they're dirty with normally.
Oh, somebody
Keep
get
it.
me a glass because I just found me a tall drink of water.
Oh, stop it, you big lug.
What's the horse doing, bro?
Yeah, I forget the next couple lines, but
do I?
Who's that?
They don't like me either.
All I want is the girl.
Who's that?
Let's just assume for the moment that everyone in here doesn't like. Hey, there's no point. My real name is Eugene Fitzherbert.
God damn,
I'm
posher.
so sorry, Flynn. Just
Eugene.
don't freak out.
I'm superhuman, innovative, and I made a rubber so that anything you say is ricocheting off of me and it'll glue you and devastating more than ever demonstrating how to give a...
I don't know where I was going with that one. I knew that shit was gonna be edited.
Mother says when I was a baby, people tried to cut it.
Cut it, cut it, cut it.
But once it's cut, it turns brown and loses its power. That's why Mother never let me...
Like a foreskin. Shit. That's fucking horrible.
So...
Yeah, well, I'll spare you.
It worked! All the way back. All the way back here? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Hi.
It worked. Look at her. Look at shit.
I should get some more firewood.
It worked.
Hey,
Hi.
Mother, wait! I think he likes me.
Oh, no. No, no, no! No!
Is that a block of cheese? Nice. Did she just fucking high kick someone away? Just high kick someone to the sky? Right here. She just high kicked someone into fucking oblivion. That's so mean. It's tasteful. Yeah, your dungeon cages are a little too clean for my liking. I keep mine nice and rusty. My prisoners usually aren't this old, usually like, 12, 14 at the oldest. I don't know.
Hold on. Stop. Dad?
See, that's nice and dusty. Dusty, rusty. That's the way you keep your dungeon. That's the best maintenance you can do.
Jackie boy!
Best to stay on dry land where it's safe. I'm about to be executed on dry land. Good point. Oh, if they disembowel you, ask for Victor. He's got the softest hand.
Rebecca, what's going on up there? Are you all right?
Please speak up, Rapunzel. You know how I hate the mumbling.
I am the lost princess,
Le mumbly.
aren't I? Did I mumble, Mother? Should I even call you that?
Beat her ass.
Yo, okay, what do you want?
I'll just have a little off the top.
Why? I don't remember the plot, but why? Oh. They do their shout outs now. Their acknowledgements. Let's check if they help. Let's check it. We'll watch Mum next. Let's check if they actually helped that. 68 before. How long ago was this? 1 year? Fred J TV. Fred J TV. Up to 2,000. Not bad, my friend. Oh, he's in jail. Oh. Oh, no, never mind. It's just a story about jail.
Hey, okay, so let me tell you. This about when I was
It's
doing
a
learning
story.
call and the women wanted to give me a little flashy. So, I'm corrections officer at the time. I'm working, you know, boom. I'm a couple of months in, so I done learned the ropes. I done learned the games. You know, they know me. They know CEO Jack. So, you know, we do. I don't know about other places, but I know about where I was at. So they do this thing, laundry call. You know, one day is uniform, the jumpsuit. Next day is towels. Next day is your underclothes, like t-shirts, underwear, socks. Cool, whatever you got off commissary type stuff. So, you know, I went on the women's side. They said, you know, Jack, go ahead and get that. But these women, bruh, I get on them. They wow. So I go over there, laundry call, yell at all the, you know, it's JKL. Pawns are labeled by a letter, so JKLM. Laundry call. So, you know, give them 10 minutes, get their laundry together, whatever. So, you know, I left, boom. Come back 10 minutes, go to the first one, zoom. Laundry, y'all ready? Yeah, we ready. Like, ready as in, you know, you decently hidden, not exposed, you know, I ain't trying to see that.
Alright, they closed.
Pop my camera on, walk in, I see that bag, grab the bag, slide it out, or they bring it out. Sometimes I just stand at the door, they'll bring it out. The ones who want to be seen, I got you, you know, I'm gonna bring it out for you, whatever. He's like, all right, you doing my job, go ahead, bring it out for me. They'll sit it there, and they'll sashay themselves back on in a little powder with them. Bye. Shut up. Go to the next one. Boom, y'all ready. So this one right here, K-pop, boy. These was like, J-pop was bigger, so it had more people in there. K-pop was like 8 white women. So, you know, y'all ready? Yeah, we good. All right, camera's still on, you know, from the first one. I'm not gonna turn it off, so, you know. No, backtrack. So, you know, boom, y'all ready? This JJ? So, you know, they got to the point, somebody in there knew me, so they told them my nickname. I'm like, yeah, this me. So, you know, they're like, yeah, we ready. Open the door. They all standing there, booty butt naked, man. When I mean standing there, they like lined up, just lined up. I opened the door and said, oh, boom. I was just like, hey, man, y'all gotta put some clothes on now. Just like, I was like, y'all gotta put some clothes on now.
I'm gonna break it back.
Like,
You still like cheese.
I'm just like, bro, y'all.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to the next.
There's a balance, right? If you give someone a lot of coverage for something, then it's gonna make them big, right? But you might possibly do that, where that's all they're known for. But any coverage is good coverage, right? Let's take a look. Something. See what we can find. One pack. Oh. Guy dealing up to his normal fucking shenanigans. You wanna listen to 14 horror stories? Just do that. You guys wanna listen to 14 horror stories? Do I even have anyone watching? Yeah, you wanna listen to 14 horror stories? They do a lot of horror on the channel. Y'all might want a break. Whoever my one singular viewer is. You wanna watch horror stories? I did not tell you to resume. No comment? I'm gonna take that as a yes.
My name is Pascal. I'm 22 years old now, but this event happened 3 years ago when I was 19.
Imagine you
It
could
happened
beat
in
the
the
shit
middle
out
of
of
the
an
night.
invader.
My parents were away for an important company meeting.
You were 19.
The company was kind of far away from where we lived.
That's 20.
So I stayed home by myself while they were gone. One time, while I was at home alone, I looked out the window
2017
randomly and froze. There was a tall man, almost dressed entirely in black. He was wearing a tuxedo.
Then they animated him with no black.
This guy was standing right outside of the door, looking at me. He wasn't laughing at all, and his head was twitching continuously. Sir, please get off our property.
Okay, you see, you know how you got your house, right? And then if you're in a neighborhood, you got houses behind you over a fence, and the fence isn't big, the fence isn't massive, right? So you're either that or you're up on a hill, like I am. And in that case, you got backyard, you can run, you can leave. You still got a backyard and a front yard, driveway, whatever, right? He's standing in the driveway, you sneak out the backyard, you leave, you jump fences, you do whatever, right? You're in the burbs and you got houses surrounding you. I'm leaving through the back, jumping the fence, and just running through different people's houses. Not even through the house if I don't have to. I'm jumping as many fences I need to jump a block until the next street, and then I'm just running. I'm leaving.
Otherwise, I'll call the police. I opened the window and told him.
Thing, by the way.
Then the man replied, "Oh, you can do that if you want, as long as you don't look away." Because of this strange attitude, I felt anxious. So I grabbed my cell phone and called the police.
You're not a smart man. Why'd you call the police while you looking at him?
But when I looked out the window again, he was gone.
Yeah, what you expect?
At that very moment, I heard footsteps coming from downstairs. I suddenly remembered that I forgot to lock my garden door, so it was still open. I thought I was gonna die at first.
You know what I see?
Then
a fucking lock on that door.
I pulled myself together.
You lock it.
I got my bat and looked down the stairs, slowly, trying not to make a sound. There he was. He was just staring at me. He didn't move, but said, "I told you not to look away." A few moments later, we heard sirens. The man still did not move. But then he suddenly changed his mind and walked over to me. I tried to swing my bat towards him, but I was so scared. I couldn't do anything except scream.
No way, you
the police
fumbled the
broke
bat.
down the door. One policeman tried to arrest him, and the other one tried to take the knife away from him. But the man resisted. He was strong. Even though
police
he was
brutality, my ass.
They couldn't stop him. They threatened to shoot him in the foot, but he didn't care. Furthermore, he attacked the two policemen, and they tumbled down to the ground.
One of them died.
I ran to one of the rooms and slammed the door shut, but he kicked in the door.
You a dumbass.
When the door opened, I could see his face, and I will never, ever forget that moment.
That's creepy.
However, at that very moment, the police caught up to him and shot his foot. The guy started screaming in pain. Shortly after that, he managed to jump outside of a window and disappeared. The door. One moment. Screaming in pain.
You got shot
Shortly
in
after
the
that,
shin.
he managed to jump outside of a window.
Jumping out
and
of, you're not.
disappeared.
Oh my god, you're not landing on your feet like that.
The policeman
You're not
chased
landing
after
clean
him,
and run.
but
He's running.
unfortunately, they
He's
failed
barely
to
limping.
arrest him. I never saw that guy again.
Or kiss my
I'm
ass.
glad
That's
that I
not how-
survived that incident, but I also feel nervous that he'll come to my house again.
It's
From
been
that
3
day
years,
on,
bro.
I always made sure I locked all the doors
You're
and
good.
windows.
You're fine. That's a smart practice. If you didn't do that, you'd be dumb anyway. You should be locking your doors, bro. Creepiest friend at the deep web. I don't care. What's the next one? Yeah, look. Look at that goofy ass bro. Skipping this one. That look boring as. Yo! Alright. Oh, that looks like it's a new thing. Jeez. I want to see the creepiest friend. I want to skip the creepiest friend. Alright, fine.
There were definitely a lot of links to choose from. I never clicked on the violent links because I'm not into that. My friend Latrice told me to click on one that says new best friend. After doing so, it takes you to a page where you have to make a profile. I put the name Lisa on my profile. My real name is Susan.
I want you, friend.
Once I made the profile, you are directed to a main page that has categories. They were silly, serious, smart, and smothering. We click smothering.
Do y'all even know what smothering means? You click smothering on the deep web? I'm sure any of you that watch most likely know what smothering means, but that's just getting choked. That's getting choked. That's what smothering is. Hold on, let me check my face cam. My hair's fine. Whatever, let's watch. Well, it's not getting choked. It's like till I die, you'd smother me to death.
I thought it was funny. After choosing, there was a list of people with their pictures, male and female. I clicked on the profile of a guy that had the name 5, like the number 5. I entered, and it didn't seem like someone who would be a smothering friend.
He looks more like a fucking rapey friend. He looks like a pedo, bro.
When I was searching through his profile, I received a message from him asking if I were looking for a friend. I looked at Latrice, and she laughed, but also told me to respond yes. So we're messaging back and forth.
Latrice is an ass friend. She's going, you want to do this shit? You need to ditch her.
For maybe 30 minutes, and then Latrice had to go.
Yeah, see, she
I
ditched
told
you,
him
your
I'll be
new
back
friend.
on tomorrow, and he said okay. Maybe a week went by where I would talk to him every night. He seemed very nice, so we exchanged numbers so we could talk more. Everything seemed fine until I clicked on another profile, and someone else messaged me. I started talking with this other person, but still was texting the guy 5, which I knew his real name now as William. The new guy had the name Bill on his profile.
Hey, Bill.
A day went by, and he seemed cool.
Oh my God.
But then William randomly asked me why I was talking with Bill. I didn't know what to say, so I never responded.
You see, there's the other definition of smothering. And if you're on the dark web, it's still not good. It's
He
still
kept
a
texting
bad
with
thing.
angry messages, so I blocked him. I didn't receive any texts, only a single message on that site, and it said soon. One day after school, my friend Latrice came over to have a sleepover. We got comfortable, went to my room, and did our usual of surfing through the web, being nosy.
That creepy ass tab.
I brought up that guy. Then I received a text message that said, "Why'd you block me?" from a random number. I replied with a question mark. Then it replied, "It's me, William."
Now that I think about it. You know what's short for William? Bill.
He texted me from another number after I blocked him. I told Latrice how creepy this guy is. Then Latrice...
And Will, but Bill as well, I think. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm making a fool of myself. Is Bill short? Yeah, okay. Yes, it is. Yes. Alright, I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid.
She stopped me from talking because she thought she heard something. Then I heard a voice.
Well, she did.
"I'm not that creepy." We both responded by screaming and looking around. I saw someone coming from under my bed, so we ran screaming.
Stomp his head! Why'd you run? He's coming under your bed? Stomp his head, bro. He's under your bed. You're on your bed. He has to crawl out. He's not that fast. He's not like Naruto. He's not light speeding that shit from out under the bed. If he's crawling out from under the bed, punch the back of his head into the floorboards or stomp it. Or, okay, that might be manslaughter. So don't stomp it, but punch it. Punch his head into the floor. I always considered this, right? There's all these monster stories. They hide under your bed. They're not immortal. But, well, some of them might be. I don't fucking know. But stomp their head into the floorboards and then run.
My room, and my mother called the cops. They didn't
That's
get
how you
him
survive.
because he left through my window, and nothing could be traced back to him.
So he was just chilling under your bed, and then he left straight
Starting
through
to
the
think
window.
that he was both of the people I was talking to. That definitely opened my eyes to
Bill
the dangers of the
and
internet.
William.
I would never visit the dark web again.
Woman in the purple dress. Hi.
A few years ago, me and my family went on our yearly holiday to Madeira, which is the birthplace of my parents. It was pretty normal for us to go annually, as our grandparents were living there. We would sleep in one of our grandparents' home, and during the day, we would go to festivals. If you do not know much about Madeira, then this story will probably give you a better idea. It's not that a physical thing occurred that holiday. It was just this nightmare that became very real for me as a child. As I said before, I was staying at my grandparents' house while in Madeira. I had a room to myself.
That shit's creepy. That one more so than that one, because the eyes are electric.
On the upper floor. It was pretty creepy, since
dolls,
my grandmother loved Victorian-style dolls.
Yeah.
Once I was able to fall asleep, I had a creepy
I don't know what
dream
the art
that I
style
can't
is, but
forget.
I don't know if I like
I
it or
woke
not.
up, and from my bed, I could hear movement on the floor. I looked down to see that the floor was covered in black insects, just crawling around. I could not see the almond brown wood floorboards, and began to yell for help. Someone opened my door.
See, that's where it's ironic. If there was an insect coming out from under my bed, I wouldn't stomp it. Like, even if it was huge, life-threateningly big, I wouldn't stomp it. I don't know why.
And I saw my little brother come in, but behind him was a woman in a hideous purple dress. I never saw this woman before,
That's creepy.
but before my brother even came closer to me, I saw the woman force her hand into his back and tear out his heart. I remember screaming in the dream, and all the woman said was, "Your parents aren't here." And I woke up. I was so scared that I went into the next room where my brother should have been asleep. But because it was dark, I couldn't see him. Well, I was a dumb kid. My anxiety level rose even higher. I ran out, went downstairs, and realized my parents were around. I started to panic more because of what that lady in my dream said, and I started to cry even more. Then I heard my older brother call my name from up the stairs. The stairs I just ran down.
Discover the Diff Lamb range for a great price every day at Chemist Warehouse.
Make your own stock.
Get real. Real
y'all
save
can miss
on
me with
Woolies.
this shit.
Get
These
real
ads
with
are
Campbell's Real
annoying, YouTube.
I told him
They've
I
just
had a
gotten
bad
worse
dream,
and worse
and
at
he
the
stayed
time.
in my room after showing me that my little brother was snoring away in his bed.
Good man.
The next morning, my brother told my parents how I behaved, so my mother asked me what happened. I told her about the dream with the lady in the hideous purple dress. My mother's face became serious, and she looked worried. I didn't know why, since that was unusual for her. About 2 years later, I was going through my parents' wedding album in our home in Madeira. While I was sorting out the top floor of the house with my younger brother, I noticed that one of the pictures was ripped in half. I thought it was unusual, so I began looking through to see where the other half was. It wasn't in the album. I brushed it off. About an hour later, I was going through one of the drawers in the living room cabinet. I saw this picture of a woman in a purple dress. She looked almost identical.
Oh my god, that's actually... Oh, that's freaky.
To the woman in my dream. It was the same dress. I began to get goosebumps, so I put the album on top of a table and opened it to the page with the teared up picture. I began to shiver once the tear of both pictures fit perfectly well together. With worry, I began...
Who's that?
Hey, do you know you're in a call?
Oh shit! I didn't even realize I'm in a Discord call. Yo, I'm
Yes, you are, my friend.
actually streaming Twitch right now.
Yeah.
I'll see you
What are
later,
you
man.
streaming?
Oh, I'm streaming YouTube horror. I'll see you
Alright,
later,
well,
man.
see you later.
But damn, sorry, chat. I didn't even know I was in the Discord call. Alright, is anyone even watching? Yeah, you're watching. Awesome.
And to ask my mother who was in the image. All I know to this day is that she is perceived as a witch and fled with my maternal uncle from Madeira. Soon
That makes it less scary that she's a witch.
after the whole community began to believe it. This is possibly all just a coincidence, but it does send a shiver down my spine. I've never met this woman, but she appeared in my dreams. I have no idea on whether or not I will forget the specific details of that dream, especially since I found out more about this woman, who is my aunt-in-law.
Oh, Pizza! She's not scary anymore. She's my new best friend. I love Pizza. Thank you, Auntie. Love pizza. I want some pizza.
This happened about 5 years ago. I was 5 years ago.
Your horror incident in the backyard. Maybe
this happened about 5 years ago.
True?
I was 11 years old, and it was pretty early in the morning. I was in the backyard playing basketball with my younger brother before I headed to school. We had a...
You see, I don't like that music, because it's actually music. I don't think horror music works. It's got to be horror ambiance, and you can make music that's more like ambiance, and that works. Like in the big purple dress lady, that worked because it was ambience. But
a basketball hoop in our backyard.
As well.
Our backyard was located next to an alley, and our gate was pretty short, so anyone who walked through that alley could see right into our backyard. After playing for a bit, we noticed that two strange men in the alley were checking out our neighbor's backyard. I didn't feel safe around them, so I led my brother back in.
He's got British teeth. Alright then, mate.
The house.
I'll brush my teeth.
We were going to ignore them, but after eyeing them a little longer, my suspicion about them turned out to be right. Watching them from the window, I saw one of them hop right over our tiny gate and was now in our backyard. Then we rushed to go tell our mom. My mom went straight outside to see two strangers standing in our backyard. She yelled at them angrily and told them to go away. She called 911. But they ignored her and didn't leave. One of the men just stared at us. All of a sudden, he went into the shed we had in the backyard and pulled out a lawnmower that was inside. At first, we were all confused and we thought they might be trying to steal it. Then my sister started to record the incident, thinking it might scare them, make them run away. But it didn't work. My mom called 911, and the men weren't saying anything to us. But one of them seemed to have changed his mind and was trying to convince the other man that they should just leave. Then the man who pulled the lawnmower out of the shed turned the lawnmower on. And we were totally confused at that moment. A random stranger just comes into our backyard and completely ignores everything we say to him. Why would he go into our shed, pull out a lawnmower, and turn it on? I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
He's a nice guy.
However, his next move made even less sense and was even more insane. He flipped the lawnmower upside down and just stood there looking at it. A few seconds later, our confusion soon turned to horror after watching what happened next. He dived headfirst into the spinning blade of the lawnmower, which cut his neck wide open and ended his life. All this happened in the blink of an eye. My mom screamed at the top of her lungs, which frightened the 911 operator. I couldn't believe what I just saw. I was only 11 years old at the time, but it must have been even harder for my younger siblings to watch that happen. A few minutes later, the ambulance and the cops arrived.
If you were 11, that would have been traumatizing. Not much under 11, it wouldn't have been too bad, solely because you wouldn't be old enough to register it. Like if you were, say, 6, you'd be barely able to recognize what's happening. But
Yeah.
11's like the height of like 11, 10. You know enough to be at the peak of scared of anything bad that's happening, and you'll remember it vividly.
The
for your
police
whole
came
life.
by to ask a few questions, but the video my sister took had the whole incident on video. So the cops knew the story was legit. I couldn't help but feel bad for the other man that was with him. When the incident happened, he screamed too, started crying, and begged us to call for help. But it was already too late. I didn't go to school that day because I was in shock. After that, I couldn't sleep at all. I had nightmares for a while. I wished we'd never saw that and wondered what happened to that man to make him want to end his life.
This isn't horrifying.
I also couldn't stop thinking about our lawnmower. It was old and worn out.
Yeah, I would sell it.
You needed to pull the cord multiple times, and with some luck, it might turn on. But he pulled that thing once, and it started right up. Everything.
Crazy tasty.
Was that a shadow on his bed of a person?
We're the sweetest snack for you. Crazy tasty.
Zespri. Feel in control of your mild eczema. Feel QV Derm Care Eczema Daily.
Was odd that day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say. True horror story about the man from the bus stop.
This happened to me when I was 17 years old.
Oh, there we go. I just needed to...
I live in Canada, and this situation took place during a snowstorm at around 9 p.m. It was extremely dark outside, and I was waiting inside a bus stop shelter after my part-time job to get home. Although I live in a crowded city in Toronto, it was very quiet that night, and there were barely any cars on the road due to hazardous weather conditions. I was waiting all by myself for about 10 minutes until one man who looked like he was in his 50s entered the shelter. He had a disgusting smirk on his face, which made him a bit creepy looking.
Rapist.
And that pretty large guy started making small talk with me. He had a creepy low voice, and he kept asking me what I was doing out in this weather and where I was going. I was feeling anxious, but there was only me and that man, so I told him I was going home after work. He smiled and said to me that the buses are going to be delayed because of the weather and won't be coming in.
Sounds like he's planned this out pretty well. I don't know
For
why
a
you're
really
still there talking
long
to him.
time. I took out my phone to check the bus times. However, due to the deadly cold weather, my phone died completely. Then he came closer to me. He smelled awfully disgusting. Hey, you want to come with me for 5 minutes?
No.
He said. I said, I'm sorry, sir. What do you mean? He said,
Don't ask what he means.
let's
Say
go
no.
hang out for a bit. Don't worry, you won't miss your bus. I will bring you back safely. Come on.
No, he won't.
I wasn't stupid and was aware of pedophiles. So I stepped back and refused. But he kept insisting that I should go with him. I was so afraid that he would do something bad to me. However, luckily, one lady came into the shelter, and the man immediately closed his mouth. After waiting for some time, the bus finally arrived. It was me, the lady, that creepy man, and 2 other people on the bus. He sat all the way at the back of the bus where he could watch me clearly, and I noticed that he kept staring and staring. I was so nervous, and when it was my stop, I got off along with the lady. And as I kept walking, I saw that the man got off with us and was right behind me. I freaked out and thought there was no choice at all, so I grabbed the lady's arm and asked her if she could walk me home because a man was following me. She also noticed that the guy was acting strangely, so she whispered that she would take me home. I walked with the lady, and when I looked back, he stared at me for a while and disappeared. When I arrived home, my parents and I thanked that lady repeatedly, and after that, I never saw him again in my life.
secret basement in the hospital. Like Creepsaw.
I work as a nurse in a hospital, although I can't reveal exactly where because of privacy reasons. Recently, a fairly popular celebrity came to be treated
He's
here,
English.
although I can't reveal who due to the aforementioned privacy reasons. Honestly, I was pretty surprised he was coming here. Not to shit talk my place of employment, but this place has a bit of a record of being really bad in caring for people. Not to shit talk my place of employment, but this place has a bit of a record of being really bad in caring for people. Not that I'm a bad nurse or anything, it's just that a lot of the surgeons seem to fuck up their job and not
Fuck up that job. Alright. This is the first one of these animated stories that I've heard a decent amount of swearing. Or any swearing at all, really. Normally these are conscious about how you don't need to swear. And it brings up a whole new populace of
get fired for some reason. This made it all the more confusing to me that this celebrity came here for surgery to remove a late-stage brain tumour. Speaking of, my friend Patricia was a huge fan and really wanted to be the one assigned to him post-surgery. She was even thinking of asking him for an autograph, which seemed unprofessional.
Oh my fucking god. Hey sir, I know you just got out from a brain tumor and everything hurts. I know our service is fucking ass and that we got you broccoli jelly for dinner. But can I please get an autograph? Here, you can sign my uniform.
To me. Anyway, he was flying in for treatment tomorrow, but my current job was to assist a surgeon with the surgery of a little boy who swallowed a bunch of his toy marbles. I was surprised they decided to opt for surgery though, because they were previously recommended to wait for him to pass them. It was me, the anesthesiologist, and the surgeon in the room. I was staying nearby to the site of the surgery, and everything seemed to be going well. Then, the surgeon slipped and cut the kid's stomach lining open. It was horrific. The smell of stomach acid almost made me vomit as it began to dissolve his intestines.
I think your issues are the least at the moment in this room. I think the kid...
Despite our best efforts, he was dead within 10 minutes. What disturbed me was how unfazed the surgeon was. After we failed to save him, the surgeon left to break the news to the parents almost immediately after. I thought I heard the anesthesiologist mumble something under her breath, but I couldn't understand clearly. It was something about food. My shift was over though, and I walked to the subway to grab some dinner, then caught the bus home. I was pretty tired, so I watched some Netflix in bed until I fell asleep. That night I had a dream, or more accurately, a nightmare. I was in the hospital, and that kid was there in front of me. Only his whole body was hollow and his chest cavity was opened, and bloody. His eyes were gone too, but still, he stared at me.
So like a normal
And the entire time he pointed straight down. I finally woke up, and with relief from being free of that dream and more guilt from the failed surgery, I started my day. I got to work and Patricia was fairly bubbly. She spent almost the whole morning talking my ear off about the celebrity. When he finally came in, she started freaking out and tried to walk up and talk to him. His bodyguards pushed her away though, and she returned to her duties dejectedly. Just before my lunch break, I was called into my supervisor's office. He said he had something very important for me to do, and that it needed to be done ASAP. He told me to go to the transplant center and get 10 hearts, then go to the basement. I was pretty confused and wanted to ask some questions, but he cut me off and yelled,
"Either you can do this shit right now, or you can walk out and kiss your job goodbye."
I was pretty pissed. He would fire me daring to ask a question, but the management would avoid firing the incompetent surgeons even though they should. I left in a huff to go collect the organs and found them waiting in a case there already, with a note signed by the doctor that gave me access to a restricted room in the basement simply called Room 60. I didn't have the slightest clue what was in there, and marched onwards to the elevator and went down to the basement. I walked to Room 60 and showed the security guard my note. He looked me over and said, "Oh, this is your first time doing this, huh? I feel sorry for you. Try not to panic if you know what's good for you." He then unlocked the door, and I stepped in. Immediately I was hit with a smell I would describe as rotten eggs, pennies, and a corpse. The ground was slick with something and it was dark in there too, with only one dim overhead light. The room was pretty big, and in the middle I saw some nondescript blob. Then I heard what sounded like a deep breath in, and the blob started moving. The thing, which I now started to realise was a body, was walking towards me with stumpy fat legs. I screamed and tried to run away, but I slipped on the ground. As my face got smeared in it, I realised the stuff on the floor was blood, and as I turned onto my back, I was face to face with the thing. It looked like a very pale, morbidly obese man, although it was much taller and much fatter than any human could be. It had large curled horns, as well as no mouth. Instead, where its mouth should be, there was just a row of pitch-black, pointy, needle-like teeth surrounding a hole. It paid me no heed, and reached out to pick up the box of organs. It opened the box, and ate all the hearts in handfuls. stuffing 3 at a time in its mouth. I was terrified and ran out the door, slamming it shut behind me.
But the surgeons aren't incompetent, they're just so good at their job that they can accidentally kill people precisely.
Security looked me in the eyes and put a reaffirming hand on my shoulder. He looked like he wanted to say something but couldn't. He told me that he would walk me out of the building and that I could have the rest of the day off. Now I'm at home, still shaking and typing this up. I got a text from Patricia, and apparently the celebrity's surgery was a massive success. I'm wondering what I even do now. Is this the type of thing I can report? Would anyone believe me?
Yeah, no. Alliance battle! Let's go! Game of the century! Please sponsor. Please.
This happened when I was about.
What I even do now. Is this the type of thing I can report? Would anyone believe me?
Brutal invasion story. Nightmares Tales. I thought that said nice.
This happened when I was about 11. My 2 friends and I, all of us male, were swimming in my friend's
I got no idea.
backyard one night around 10 p.m. My friend's house borders the junior high school property and is separated by a chain-link fence.
But his uncle loves that when he comes over.
As we were swimming, I look over and I see a tall man dressed in black and a baseball cap, just standing there like a zombie, just watching us.
Or like a pedo.
For some reason, I didn't get scared. I just thought it was weird. I mention him to my friends, who both look over and immediately start screaming their heads off and start swimming away to get out of the pool. Their reaction woke me up to the situation, and I started swimming out of the pool too. We are one by one trying to use the ladder, and I was in the rear, so as I'm waiting, I look over and the guy is scrambling up the fence as fast as he can.
Now let's scream.
We made it to the house and managed to slam the door and lock it just as he reaches the door. This was the back door, which was like 80% clear glass, so he just stood there looking at us as we screamed our heads off.
That's not hard to smash.
I even noticed he was holding a baseball bat. We run and hide behind the living room couch.
That's not
He keeps jiggling with the doorknob. But luckily, he never used the bat to break the glass, which would have been really easy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He walks away and my friend runs and turns the security alarm on and calls his dad, who was off running errands. My friend's dad said he was almost home and to stay inside. We turn the TV on and start to calm down, when all of a sudden, the alarm goes off.
Oh well, you're okay.
I almost shipped my swimming suit for the second time, and our stupid 11-year-old minds decide just standing there screaming was the best option.
Even just standing
My friend's dad happened to get home while this is happening. He gives the operator the secret password that everything is okay, grabs his gun and searches the property, but he didn't find anyone.
You Americans, bro. It's not all okay once you pick up the Glock.
We still swam at night after that, and we never met that crazy guy again.
We'll listen to one more story after this.
Also, I'm 25 now, and I don't know why we didn't just call the cops or why my friend's dad didn't call the cops.
Yeah, stupid ass. Then again, you probably wouldn't. No, no. True horror story about an uninvited guest at my friend's party. That's true horror right there. Oh
this
no,
happened around the year
Jerry.
2011 when I was 13.
How long have we been
One
on
day
this?
my friend was planning on throwing a party at his place, so my older cousin drove me there. It took about 4 hours to get there, and when I finally arrived, it was around 8 p.m. A few hours later, we were having fun, but out of nowhere, I had to use the bathroom really badly. About 5 minutes had passed, and while I was in the bathroom, I heard a crunching noise coming from the woods. At first, I thought it was someone who arrived late to the party. But all of a sudden, I heard loud banging on the glass. I started to think it might be my friend just looking for me. So I told him that I was inside.
That's not how you look for someone. I would not sit there bored looking and then call out to the person
inside the
banging on
bathroom.
the bathroom.
However, it wasn't
That was like the worst and best jump scare at the same time. It was the sound effect that got
my friend. It was a guy who looked like he was in his late 50s. He said that his car broke down. He then asked me to help him, but I was already paranoid about strangers. So I simply told him that I couldn't help him. He nodded his head and walked away. When I was
That's a goofy nod.
done using the bathroom, I went back to the room where my friend was. I told him what I saw and what the man said to me. My friend looked like he just saw a ghost. Then he finally said that for almost 2 months, this man was stalking his entire family and also saw him from the bathroom window tons of times. They asked the police to check their area several times, but they couldn't help his family. When he said that, I thought he was overreacting until I heard the same banging noise now coming from the door. It was more violent now.
You're at a party, it doesn't
Everybody paused what they were doing and looked at the door
Unless
in
you've got a
shock.
gun, you can take them. There's
One
50
guest broke the
people.
silence and said it was probably only the pizza delivery man. But my
No.
friend told me not to answer the door at all
Oh, yeah,
costs.
good comic relief.
I looked through the peephole, and there he
I hate
was.
them motherfuckers. They
The
gotta be
same
the
guy
real
I
life
saw
comic
through the
relief
bathroom's
character.
window. He had a psychotic-looking face and was licking his lips nonstop.
Alright.
We all just stood there in silence and hoped that the man would go away. But after a few minutes, the loud noise came from the basement. The guy threw a brick at the
Fucking
basement's
teleport.
window and crawled through it. Suddenly, it sounded as if a gunshot echoed through the entire house.
Alright, yeah.
My
Get it
friend
done.
and most of the partygoers screamed and ran out of the house. I stayed behind along with a few
take
others.
Why?
One of the older kids was trained in martial
can
arts.
all leave.
So I
Karate's not gonna help you. What are you gonna punch a bullet? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Are you stupid? That's most critical. I'm sorry, I stole that. No, but for real, are you? How dumb can you?
saw him as
I did martial arts for like 3-4 years. I'm not gonna try and punch a man with a gun. That's dumb.
assault
That's
and
stupid.
attacked the man until he was shot.
Yeah.
Afterward.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're trying to hit me. What? Dead.
The man escaped and ran into the woods. The whole scene was chaotic now.
Reminds me of when Andrew Tate was talking. I don't like Tate, but well, I don't care much. I don't have much of an opinion on him, but it reminds me of the time where I saw the short video of him. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna be sitting there in a room full of terrorists," and you're like, "Oh, what do? I'm gonna go blow, blow." No, you're not. They're terrorists. You're gonna get shot.
An
and die.
ambulance and police car arrived soon after, and fortunately, the kid that was shot survived. After a
thought he
few
said
days of intense investigation, the police went to my friend's house and told him that they caught the guy. It turns out that he was living in the woods. He also kidnapped 3 kids, but luckily they were found in time and set free. But they also found out that he had already killed a few kids already. So after that, he was condemned to death for murder.
And voicemail. Alright, one more. I swear, this one will be the last one. These are just too short.
This happened a while back.
There's a lot going on here, man. There's a lot going on. Let's analyze here. We have sneakers in the bottom, right, in a bag for some reason. We have a dog that the zombies didn't kill before. And that just came in, and we got zombies, right? We have this lady who conveniently wasn't wearing anything when the zombies came in, and then went underwater. For whatever reason, the zombies couldn't go under the water to get her. Everything is spick and span in a zombie apocalypse. See, state of survival, that shit's in a zombie apocalypse. And then we've got gift code SOS 2022. Alright. Put on the shoes and now she's fully clothed. And she just had a gun rack on the wall, just chilling there waiting.
Back when I was 11, we used to live in a 2-story house with the second floor being a wooden floor. There's a slight crack on the floor, so if anyone steps on it, it creaks. And one night, I woke up at around 1 a.m. The moment
3 a.m. Oh no, not at 3 a.m. I'm not looking. Oh, good.
And I opened my eyes. I heard heavy footsteps behind me as my body was facing the wall.
Doesn't sound like that.
My bed was next to the wall, and my computer was by my head. My door was always open since I never close it when I go to bed.
Why?
At first, I was confused about why there were heavy footsteps with chains dragging on the floor.
The ghost of Christmas
The heavy
Eve.
steps sounded as if it stepped on the floor's crack. I heard the floor creak. The footsteps seemed to fade away to the end of the hallway to my uncle's room. It creeped me out and I couldn't move my body. I just stared at the wall in fear, then closed my eyes. Soon after, that noise came back to my room slowly. I heard the creak again, and all of a sudden, the chains whipped the floor door. That sound was so loud, so I opened my eyes for a few seconds in fright, but closed it again. I said to myself that it was all a dream, and it was nothing. It became silent until I heard a loud smash on the keyboard that's right by my head. I screamed, but kept closing my eyes forcefully. Suddenly,
This is, you know what, I can accept this. This is dumb shit that we all would have done as kids. I'm still a kid. I wouldn't do this anymore though. Like when we were like 9, 10, 8, this is shit we all would have done. I'll admit. I can accept this, but nah, bro.
One of the
Don't close
deep
your eyes,
voices
Lee.
started murmuring loudly just above my head. Its sound was so low beyond recognition, so I couldn't understand what the thing was. Then I started to pray to God. I was not honest and trustworthy back then, but praying was the only way to erase my fear.
That's an alright
So
reaction.
I kept praying, and surprisingly, the voice faded away. The next day, I told my family about what happened, and they were surprised. I was given a rosary by a relative as protection, and she told me not to take it off. So ever since then, I've been wearing it. However, just a month after that, around 3 a.m., I was
3 a.m. Oh no! I'm gonna get taken at 3 a.m.
sleeping, and suddenly, my rosary fell and shattered into pieces on the floor. I jumped out of my bed immediately when it happened. I was so confused, but I didn't want to check on what could have caused it. So I decided to go back to sleep and just collect the scattered pieces of the rosary when I woke up. The next morning, I told my family about it again, and they got really scared because it was really unusual. But they couldn't do anything about it, so they just tried to cheer
Wear bedpans with pockets, bed, and keep the rosary and my hand in there.
me
Quick
up.
access, can't fall,
Nothing
can't
has
shatter.
really happened since then. But I always wonder what would have happened if I opened my eyes to look right above my head to see who or what that deep voice was.
Don't play hide and seek in a forest when it gets dark outside. As much as I do actually want to watch that, I want to watch the rest of this. But I will save some for the next run. And we're already an hour in. Can't keep watching forever. Thank you guys for watching. Like, follow, subscribe, whatever suits the platform. Anything helps. If you don't want to, you don't got to. If you don't like the content, it's just not for you. But if you know anyone that it might be for, feel free to share. Do whatever you can or want to. I don't mind. Just a hobby for me anyway. Have a good day, and